TOEFL IELTS GEPT 80, 1. TOEFL IELTS GEPT Speaking Training, 1. By David Pai. 1. What do you think is the most useful book and why? The most important book for me is my undergraduate major textbook, which is called Marketing, because as we all know that marketing is a kind of major which cuts across the boundaries of many different disciplines, so it broadens my knowledge scope, such as the aspects of advertising and trade. On the other hand, well, a plenty of cases are included in this book. In addition, many definitions can explained very acceptable, so it definitely helps me to get a deeply understanding of my major. 2. Whether is the TV function is positive or negative? And why? As far as I am concerned, television has more positive effects towards the modern society than its negative sides. First, from the news broadcasting in the television, we can know what is happening in the outside world even without stepping out our living room with television in it. And second, watching television with family members after supper is a good way to relax after a hard day's work. What's more, its visual effect makes people feel less stressed and has a great influence on the way people think and talk. 3. Describe the most important decision that you made in your life. Personally speaking, the most important decision that I have made in my life is to choose marketing as my major in university, as we all know that marketing is a kind of major which cuts across the boundaries of many different disciplines, so in order to learn it well, I have to learn various subjects such as international trade and brand management. What's more, I'm little timidity in front of challenges such as doing the presentation and negotiation. I guess most of the people may have this kind of stage fright, so marketing is a major can definitely anneal myself during the studies in university. I learned hard and practiced as much as I could. Finally, I got the highest GPA in my grade. 4. Do you think the high school should teach music and art as other basic science? I bet no one could deny that the main responsibility of a high school is to help its students develop various abilities, not only the academic abilities. In other words, music and art should be viewed as basic science. Firstly, it is very important to get fully educated for students. Music and art can help the students appreciate beauty in our lives, and that will broaden knowledge scope of students. Also, music and art do good to students' mentality. A sound mentality is essential to the students' future. 5. What do you do in your leisure time? When I have time to kill, I usually like to surf the internet to pay close attention to new fashion trades such as the Fashion Week, respectively, New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, London Fashion Week and Milan Fashion Week. The rest of time, I usually go to the library to find some valuable books and a park to relax myself. There are many books to my taste, such as fashion magazines, inspirational books, and professional books. These books can make me healthier and energetic. And last thing I'd like to do when I am free is to eat out with my family members. You may be surprised to know that I have tried all the restaurants in our community. 6. Should cell phone banned in some places? I strongly agree with the opinion that the use of a mobile phone should be forbidden in some places, such as library and airplanes. The most common reason for people going to a library is to find a silent environment to read their favorite books without interruption. But if you receive a phone call in the library or just send out messages, the mobile phone will ring. Though people have personal right to use their mobile phone, the others are not supposed to be involved in the unnecessary disturbance, and I do not think it is very polite unless you can turn down the volume. Another place is airplane, as we all know that it is very dangerous to have a phone call in airplane. It may causes interference between the signals. Therefore, mobile phone should be forbidden in airplanes unless there is a new technique can avoid it. 7. Describe an impressive celebration or moment. Speaking of celebrations, there is one day of the year that is second to none in China. It is the first day of the year in lunar calendar, which is called the Spring Festival by most Chinese people. Even if you are indifferent with festive events, you cannot resist the charm of a family reunion dinner, which marks the defining feature of the Spring Festival. And during the dinner, family members make toasts for each other in order to wish for joy, peace, health, and fortune for the next year. 8. Which one acts more influence on you, newspaper, TV, or teachers? I definitely think that it is TV that influences me most among the three. First, from the news broadcasting in the television, we can know what is happening in the outside world even without stepping out our living room with television in it. I just want to keep myself informed of what's going on in the world. And second, Watching television with family members after supper is a good way to relax after a hard day's work. What's more, its visual effect makes me feel less stressed and has a great influence on the way I think and talk, so that's why I think it influences me most. 9. Describe a social or politics celebration events in your culture. Speaking of social celebration in my culture, there is one day of the year that is second to none, the Chinese New Year, which is also called the Spring Festival by most Chinese people. Even if you are indifferent with festive events, you cannot resist the charm of a family reunion dinner, which marks the defining feature of the Spring Festival, and family members make toasts for each other in order to wish for joy, peace, health, and fortune for the next year. 10. Whether should the government support the construction of museums and opera? There's no doubt that government should be responsible for the people by means of regulation and investment. The main responsibility for the government is to benefit the people in any aspects. We cannot emphasize the importance of schools, museums, and theaters too much, cause museums and theaters serve as exhibition centers for people to know about the history and culture of the country. What I am saying is that museums and theaters do good to our mind and quality, hence, government should provide fund to build museums and theaters. 11. Describe the favorite part of your city and why. Personally speaking, my favorite place in my city is the National Library, based on following reasons. Firstly, there are many books to my taste, such as fashion magazines, inspirational books, and professional books. Reading does good to our mind. As a student, we should always recharge ourselves by knowledge in order to meet the need of talents in this society. Secondly, I always go to the library with my friends. It's my glad to share knowledge with other people. Going to the library, not only can we acquire knowledge but also can promote our friendship to some degree. 12. Where do you and your friend like to go and why? 13. Do you like to eat home or out? Why? Personally speaking, I definitely prefer having meals at home for the following reasons. In the first place, it is cheaper to have meals at home. In the second place, it is more convenient to have meals at home, cause you don't need to take bus or taxi to go to the restaurant. Especially, it is a big deal when there is a traffic jam. Finally, having meals at home will save a plenty of time. You don't have to spend much time on your way to restaurant. According to some statistics, you just need 1 hour if you eat at home, while you will need at least 2 hours if you eat out. 15. You prefer study in a large city or a small town? I definitely prefer to study in a big city. The most common reason for us to study is to find a good job, and there are much more job opportunities in big cities than the small town. If I study in the big cities, I can do a part-time job while studying, and seize the opportunity to work there after I graduate from university. In addition, the big city can provide us a plenty of internship opportunities to me. Moreover, jobs in big cities can offer more decent salaries, so that's why I think big city is more attractive for me to study. 16. Which do you like most, magazines, novels, and poems? Why? Personally speaking, I prefer magazines to fictions or poems, cause they are good in some way and fill current trends and demands in different ways. I just want to keep myself informed of what's going on in the world. I read 5 or 6 magazines per month, and I buy 2 magazines regularly, fashion and beauty magazines, cause they are worth reading for their entertainment, news, and fashion and beauty tips. Which I most prefer is a magazine called Enjoy Yourself. It makes me more confident in myself. 17. Do you like to live alone or with roommate? I definitely prefer to live alone. I enjoy a comparatively quiet environment to relax myself after a day's hard work. I can do what I want to do, such as singing, reading, listening to music, and telephone to somebody no matter where and when. I can adorn my room with various adornments. Moreover, I am a neat freak. I could not bear there is any dirt in my dorm room, but there's always a mess up at my roommate's area. 18. When you are with your friends, you like to stay with him or her at home or at a cafe? Personally speaking, I definitely prefer staying at home with my friends for the following reasons. Firstly, we can totally relax at home after a week's hard work. We don't need to care the weather and the temperature outdoor, and then we can enjoy our time more relaxed. Secondly, it is convenient for we friends have a close chat, including some secrets of us at home. More importantly, we can do what we want to do, such as watching TV and listening to music. 19. Computer have improved our lives while others think computers have caused problems. In my opinion, I think computer does have more positive effects towards our lives than its negative sides. First, we can keep in touch more closely with the help of computer. For example, by using emails or MSN, I can leave messages to my friends in the United States no matter when. But before computer was invented, one have to wait nearly several months to get a letter from friends abroad. Second, with computer, we can get information from all over the world easier and more convenient. I just want to keep myself informed of what's going on in the world. They can equip me with knowledge and information. 20. Describe your teacher's character. As far as I am concerned, a good teacher should have the following qualities: confident, kind, and patient enough. The teacher should be confident both of himself and his students every time he walks in the classroom. He should bring a strong feeling of authority, and makes his students feel a definite sense of trust. And the teachers should be kind to his students. If a teacher is too strict, his students would be afraid to ask questions, and that will decrease the efficiency of their study. In addition, a good teacher should never lose their patience in class when students ask questions repeatedly. Most of all, a good teacher should update his knowledge. Further learning can make a good teacher rediscover the beauty of the teaching profession. TOEFL IELTS GEPT 80, 2. TOEFL IELTS GEPT Speaking Training, 2.